Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Monday. Let me set up this room real quick and then we can get started. Today is April 26th. All right, let me get that set up right there. Let that get set up. And then I'm gonna get this links out set for you guys as well. You guys a Zoom link over here. You guys here in the premium. So good. Let's link out to you guys real quick. All right, there's a Zoom link for you guys. Let me get you guys the normal link as well. I'll let you guys make your way in. Cool. Get that link over here real quick. There we go. Live trading. See, it's 6:24. We got about 6 minutes until market open. So we got some time until everything kicks off. So we're not in too much of a rush today, but I'll try to get ready and get everything set up right before market open so that we can hop into that breakout trade if it does play out well. So I'm going to keep testing that trade for a couple more weeks, and then I'll see if there's any changes that need to be done. But I think for the most part, it looks pretty solid overall. So let me just get this over here, and I think we're good. So let's see, let me fix this. Let's see, I think I'm having a bit of some connectivity issue. It's raining over here in California today. It never rains here, so whenever it does rain, internet connection does get pretty bad here. So I'll try to make sure everything works proper here. But if we do get disconnected, I'll try to get back on as soon as possible. Yeah, my Telegram is like not even working. There we go. Yeah, it's so weird in California, guys, because it rarely rains here. So whenever it rains or it gets really cold, something happens with the internet connection here. It just happens everywhere. It's like all around Southern California. Let me see if I'm missing anything here real quick. Hey, morning iPhone. Morning, Adrian. Morning, everybody. So let me check the chat real quick over here. See what else is going on over here as we begin. Cool. Morning, Peter. Morning, Alan. Morning, Kushi. Morning, David. Morning, Kadre. Morning, Vishnu. Kadre, I still haven't looked at your strategy yet. It's been a busy weekend for me. So I'll definitely take a look sometime this week. I'll try to. If not, I think Josh can probably take a look at it first, and then he'll give me the details once he looks at it. But I'll try to take a look at it as soon as I can. So let me just get this link sent out to you guys as well. And then I think we should be good. All right, we got 4 minutes. So 4 minutes for me to post up this link to social media, and then we should be good to go. This over Facebook, and then one last place is Instagram. So I got 3 minutes left. I think I can do this really quick. Copy that. All right, Instagram. All right, looks like we're good. So let me pull this up over here. We got 2 minutes left. Let me get my FTMO ready. Hey, what's up, Nick? Where are you at? Morning, Sanjeev. Morning, Nathan. Morning, Lindwelly. Morning, everybody. So you guys had a great weekend. If you guys traded with us yesterday, we locked in some pretty good profit yesterday, actually. It was a pretty heavy profit day for majority of us. I'm up like nearly 2,000 for the day if you guys looked. So I'm up. Well, Ivarcheri, so he's up like 4,000. So he's up a lot. He traded cryptos over the weekend, and the major pairs right here. So he's up 4,000. Jasmine's up about 249. Her other account over here, personal, she's up $13 on that one. Ivarcheri's other account, 2,351. Or I think this is prior to that big profit. And here are my profits from yesterday to 1,987. So if you guys sat in on the session yesterday, everyone here locked in some pretty decent profit to kick off the trading week. So I'm up about 2,000 for the week. I'm hoping to keep pushing this up as we go. And we'll be looking at this opening candle here. So we're about to kick this off. I'm going to see how that opening candle moves. If you guys don't know how the strategy works, this strategy isn't official yet. We're still testing it. But if you guys want to see how we've applied this over the week, I've been applying this every day last week, and they've all been wins. So if you guys want to go back and watch that, go ahead and feel free. But right now, I'm going to start looking for a possible entry here. It looks like we're going to be looking for a buy, which is perfect because it lines up with the 3-minute here and the 10-minute. Everything here looks like a buy. So it's going to be perfect for us. If I do see that, I'll probably, there we go. We got 7 seconds left on this candle. I'm not going to take the opening one, though. I'm going to wait for that one to close, and then I'm going to see how it moves from there. So, all right, here goes the opening candle. Let's see how this moves over here. And then once we get a better picture of what's going on, we can possibly hop in. So it might not be a buy, it might be a sell. That's why we don't take that opening candle. There we go. Yep, looks like a sell to me. So I'll be waiting for this down here. Actually, I'll keep them waiting. I'll keep both of them there, a buy and a sell just in case. We got about 20 seconds left on this candle right here. I'll be following it to see which direction I'm trying to take it in. Looks like it's going to be a sell though. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a sell. All right, so we'll see where this goes. I'm going to wait for this to close. Yeah, it's definitely a sell. All right, so I'm in this trade right now, guys. I'm going to mark it from the halfway mark. If it gets down to the bottom, I'm going to, or if it gets halfway to 25, I'm going to move my stop loss in profit or possibly close it. If not, we'll write it down to the full TP down there for 50. So this is a risky trade, guys. And unless you guys know what we're doing here, I don't recommend you guys enter it, but this is a quick breakout trade that we usually take. And we'll see how it plays out from here. So I'm just manually watching it. I don't set a TP stop loss. I just watch it. I see how it plays out from there. And then we usually act off the price movement to see where things are going. So we'll see. Probably should have waited a little longer for the second candle over here. But market's erratic. When it does move like this, we just hold on to it and we let it do what it's supposed to do. I'd rather be in it and just watch it than try to get in for a discount, right? Because you never really know where it's going to move off this breakout. So we'll see where it goes. I don't have a TP stop loss. That's why I have these marked up right here. Because when price reaches down this point, say if price comes down to this point right here, and then say it comes back up. If this happens right here, I manually close in profit. It's just, the price just moves too fast for us to set a TP stop loss. So we're just following it. If price ends up going opposite, then yeah, we close it that way too. But everything's pretty much done manually for the strategy. So you kind of have to know what you're doing if you want to apply the strategy specifically. So that's why we don't really recommend new traders or traders who aren't experienced to apply this, because it's a very risky strategy. And if you guys followed it last week, you guys will know exactly what I mean, because price will go back and forth consistently until it actually finds its true direction. So I'm just watching it, seeing where it moves. But definitely, like for today, this is obviously going to be, a sell bias. Well, not for the day, but for this breakout here. Still watching it. Let's see, it's 6:33. We're only 3 minutes into the market, so it's probably gonna bounce back and forth up until 6:40, because this is still within the 10-minute candle. Like some people like to trade this off the 10-minute. We do it off the 1 minute because we catch the movement as it goes back and forth. So I'll keep watching it here. And you guys can't get greedy. If it gets to the stop loss area, you guys have to close it. If it gets to the TP area, you guys have to close it. Don't wait for it to keep pushing out. I mean, you guys can if you want, but you guys know how that plays out. Some people got greedy last week, and then they ended up in some drawdown until it finally dropped back into profit, right? These scalps right here are not something to play with. Like, this happens way too quickly, and you're better off closing out when you're supposed to than to hold on to it and hope that it's going to keep going back in your direction. So keep watching it. Let's see, 6:34. We still have a lot of time. It's still like really early in the market. Once it gets like 10 minutes in, that's when it starts to choose its direction. So that's basically what we're waiting for here. Waiting for the market to choose its official direction for the day. Let's see, it was the 10-minute over here. I'm just gonna mark this up right here. 6:30. Oh yeah, the 6:30 candle hasn't even closed yet. All right. Some pretty decent volatility this morning. Let's see. I'm not too worried about it pulling back like this, guys, because usually after the opening candle, it pulls back anyways, just like it did on Thursday. So keep watching it, see where it plays out. And sometimes if it does go past the stop loss, I leave it open for a little bit just to see if it swings back down, because sometimes it'll trigger stop loss, then it'll come back down. That's why we don't set a stop loss. And just a reminder, if you guys are new here and you guys haven't seen us apply this, go back and watch every live session from Monday up until Friday last week, and you'll see what I mean by that. Because these breakout entries are super volatile, so they'll keep bouncing back and forth. All right, let's see. We're getting close to that area right there. Let's see, Josh, Kyle, are you in this trade right now? I'm talking to the K2 admins right now, trying to see if they're in it, because they might be getting in at a higher price. I might be doing the same too. If price ends up if it starts to swing back down, I'll hop in for a second entry, and I'll use that to mitigate the drawdown. But we'll see. Let's keep watching it. All right, 36. We still got some time right here. If it swings below the pivots and then it rejects off it, then I'll hop in for a second entry. And I'll probably just double up, or I'll mitigate the risk. We'll see. It's about 6:37. We still got 3 minutes left. All right, I'm watching it to possibly close out for a loss, maybe, if we need to. But we will. Yeah, so Josh said, Josh, you got in too early. Yeah, sometimes I want to get in like later too, Josh. But you know what happened last time? Like, we got in late and it didn't even draw down at all. It just went straight down to profit. I think they hit stop loss by 6:40. I'm probably gonna hold on to it a little longer, just to see if it swings back down, because that 10-minute candle still hasn't closed yet. We have to wait for it to close for it to come back down, because it might come right back down right after, like it did last time. And just a reminder, guys, this is still a brand new strategy. We haven't really figured this out yet. We're still testing this. It's only been a week since we tested it. So there's still a lot of work to be done on this. That's why we're still, it's still trial and error right now. We're trying to figure out what the sweet spot is. We're trying to figure out when the perfect entry time is, if it's like the opening candle, if it's the next one. But but it's, you know, we're going to figure this out over time. This is how we create these strategies and how we figure out things, how they like how they end up moving perfectly. So let's see, we got about 2 minutes left on this 10-minute candle. So we'll see if it comes crashing back down. I'm just gonna hop back into it, mitigate those losses, and then I'll manually manage the other one as well. I mean, as long as it's within your risk, that's the main key, guys. You guys got to make sure that your trades are within your risk, and that you guys aren't over risking too much for this breakout entry. Because I do see some people over leverage. You should never over leverage, even if it's a small scalp. You guys should still be using proper risk each time. Obviously, risk is gonna be different because it moves a lot smaller, but you should still be using proper risk nevertheless. So let's see, 6:38. We still got 2 minutes left on this candle, 3 seconds left on that. All right, this is the last candle until the candle does close. So I'm gonna hold on to it. Even if it does hit stop loss, I'll probably hold on to it a little longer because usually after the 10-minute candle closes, it comes all the way back in the opposite direction because it has to retrace back after it's had a big push like this, right? It usually ends up retracing. And even if it does hit stop loss, I'll hold on to it. So let's see how far it pushed up. It pushed up about 500 pips, close to it. Not completely, but close to it. Wasn't strong enough push. Usually this opening candle will push up maybe 1,000 pips. Usually if it only pushes up about 500, it'll come back down right after. So we got about 20 seconds left on this candle. It's starting to come down as we speak. So you're gonna see a wick right here off this 10-minute. If I take this off right here, see the huge wick on top? That's why I think it's gonna come right back down. And I'm not too worried about it. I'll watch it. There we go. So I'm gonna wait for it to come down and then we'll see where it goes from there. All right, so this is the 10-minute candle. Let's see where it goes from here. At this point, if it does hit stop loss, I'm gonna close it out. If it drops at this point, I'll probably stack another position to mitigate the loss. Or not the loss, but to mitigate the drawdown. So that if it does come back down, I can lock in some profit and then I could also maybe double up if I can. All right, there we go. It's coming back down. And wait until its candle closes, let it come down below the pivots. And then that will give me the confirmation that's going to drop. All right, we'll see where this plays out. This is the first minute off the next 10-minute candle. Let's see where it goes from here. Let's see. Watching it. All right, I'm closing out for a loss. It's all good. So that's the first loss that we had using this breakout strategy right here. It's all good. You know, we're still figuring it out, but I'll keep watching. We'll see if it comes back down. So we'll go back to our normal scalps from this point. That's just one of the first breakout strategies that didn't play out as we planned, but it's all good. Move on to the next one over here. All right, we'll go back to the 10-minute. Looks like our bias for today is going to be bullish, so that's completely fine. We'll start looking for some buys at this point now. So looking at this over here, this was the opening candle. Let me make sure that these zones are proper over here. So let's see, I'm gonna make sure these zones are proper. Now we're gonna go back to our normal scalps. After that breakout scalp, now we start looking for our normal scalps off the 10-minute and the 3-minute, and we'll look to mitigate that loss throughout the session today. So let's see this real quick. So let's see this right here, this over here. All right, so we're good off this right here. Yeah, me too, Roosevelt. I mean, that's the first time that it actually went that far out. So let's see, we got this right here. Here's a 3-minute. Buy scalp right there. Yeah, like what Sam said, just under 1%. Just make sure you're only risking like under 1%, guys. If you're risking under 1%, you're completely fine. It's not that much of a risk for you guys. So let me go back over here real quick, and I'm going to follow the 3-minute and the 10-minute over here. Oh, man, like it's coming right back down. See, this is what I was talking about. I should have just held on to it. It's probably going to come right back down after, but we'll see. Sometimes it'll just have that bullish push off that first candle, and then it starts to come right back down. But we're still looking for some buys over here. This is going to be the 10-minute entry for the daily entry. This is going to be the 10-minute entry for the scalps using the wait, why did it look different over here? So this over here, I thought I drew the zones here. No, I was in the wrong one. Sorry about that. Let me just fix this right here. I'm gonna draw the zones here off this one because these are the actual scalps that we're looking for here. Zoom out from this point. This one right here. This one over there. All right, so we'll look for some 10-minute scalps over here. I got these zones set up already, so we're good to go off this. Turn this off. So there's no scalp available yet. We'll look here on the 3-minute. Now that we have this bullish push, we'll wait for the retracement down, and then we'll catch the scalps as it comes back up from that point. So we'll look at that, and then we'll follow through with these as well. So let's see what else we got over here. Let's see. Yeah, Nick said 66% of people are short right now. Yeah, so it was 68. I don't know if you guys saw that before I refreshed it. It went from 68 to 64. They stopped out all the short sellers basically with that big push up right there, but it might come right back down. So we'll see where it goes from here. Let's see. Yeah, Saren said that there's liquidity around 60. So let me see that real quick. Yeah, when price reaches that point right there. So we'll see. If price ends up reaching that point, it's fine because we'll start looking for some buys anyways. We'll see what liquidity pushes either up or down from that point. Let's see. Nice. Tam had the buy stop open already. So let me see where this is going over here. Nice, Steven. Looks like you took a buy over here for GJ. So yeah, Steven over here took this buy for GJ using looks like the SR strategy. So you locked in some pretty good profit this morning, Steven. You locked in about 2,577. So you did pretty good off GJ. Some of you guys here don't trade US 30. You know, some of you guys here do still trade Forex primarily. So nice work off that, Steven. You killed it off that, bro. 2,500 off that trade right there. Let's move on to the next scalp over here. Now we're just waiting for the scalp. Looks like market volatility has died down at this point. So we're just waiting now. Just waiting for this to play out. Once it plays out, then we can start looking for some possible entries off this. Here, let's see. Yeah, so off the 3-minute, we're going to need to sell anyways for us to get that. Looks like I'm going to start looking for some scalps here for some buys as well. We're going to look for a retracement here as well. We want that sell retracement. Once we get that buy retrace, that buy swing back up, we can hop into the buy. But we're just looking for a retracement on the 3-minute. We're looking for a retracement on the 1-minute, and we're also looking for a retracement on the 10-minute. So we're just waiting for that retracement back down. Once we have that retracement, we can hop back in for a buy and then ride it in that direction. Looking here on the 10-minute, this might be the direction for the day, bullish move up until 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock around this area. So we'll see how it moves from here. You know, depending on where we get this signal for the depending on where we get the signal for the 10-minute, if it comes in early for the sell, because obviously we have a buy right here, right? So the next signal has to be a sell. If we get a signal midway through over here, then we might take it as a daily entry. Vice versa, if it ends up coming down here, it's even better, because this is when the market starts to reverse around this area down here. So we'll see where it moves from there, but we're still looking for this retracement off the 3-minute. Also looking for the retracement off the 1-minute over here, so we can take some smaller scalps. Let me check this real quick. This one's good. Nice, nice. Yeah, so Steven, you're using the 3-minute scalp strategy. Cool, bro. Yeah, no, let me see yours real quick. Oh, I can see it right there. Yeah, so you enter that after you saw the you saw the signal after the after across the pivot right there. So yeah. So you said you use confluence of higher time frame order block. Nice, nice. That's smart, bro. That's smart. So you use the higher time frame order block over here. That's where you saw that liquidity push. You caught it as it crossed above, and you took that buy right there for GJ. So nice work off that, dude. It looks like a lot of you guys have been using these same strategies for different Forex pairs, which is pretty good to see that it works, so that other people can also follow what you guys are doing. So nice work, Steven, off that, bro. That's kind of similar to what I use too. When I'm trading US 30 over here, I use a 10-minute confluence with a 3-minute and also the 3-minute order blocks when I'm taking these 1 minutes over here. So just looking at these here, these are all bullish right now for all these pairs. So it's bullish all around for the 10-minute, 3-minute order blocks over here as well. So that's why for the 1 minute over here, we're looking for some possible buy scalps, but we don't have that retracement yet. We need that retracement, and we need the buy entry to catch out. Let's see. All right, we got that retracement right there. We kind of want this to close with that sell signal. If it closes with the sell signal, it's perfectly fine, because then now we can catch it as it swings back up for a buy, which is exactly what we're looking for here. It has to retrace down. See how it's retracing down here on the 10-minute? It's going to have to retrace down a little bit, or it might retrace down a lot. Let me see if there's news this morning. I didn't even check if there was news this morning. Well, everything is bullish here. So the Dow Jones is bullish, S&P is bullish, NASDAQ's bullish. So I think they're going to keep pushing up for the day. Midway through the market, I think around 9 o'clock, it's going to consolidate a bit, and then it'll probably reverse on us. But there's no news this morning on Monday. So I'm not really sure what's causing this erratic movement. So right here, you can see that price is now coming back down. Now this is where it becomes a little tricky, because if price starts to come down from this point, then there's no direction set, right? Generally, there has to be a direction set for the 10-minute. Usually from 6:30 to 10, price will go directional. It'll either go up or it'll go down. If it doesn't go up or down, then it's probably just going to go sideways for a bit until it chooses its direction. But yeah, price is moving pretty erratic this morning. It's usually pretty smooth. Looks like it's coming right back down. So it looks like our entry over here might have been good, actually. That's that sell that we took. Damn, look, it's coming all the way back down. This is, yeah. All right, so we might have to go back to the drawing board. We have to wait for it to, we need to figure out what direction price is actually going to be moving. Because as you can see right here, if we held on to our position from earlier, it's swinging back in a profit as we speak. Maybe stop loss was too tight. So maybe that's the next move that we have to make for this breakout strategy. Because you can see here, price barely just went past stop loss by like maybe 10 pips or so. Not very much, like barely, right? So it barely went up a little bit, because we're on the 1 minute. So these movements aren't even that big, but you can see price barely triggered it, and then it came all the way back down. So, maybe that's just the market today. Because if you guys follow this strategy for the past 2 weeks or so, we didn't lose any trades. Like if you guys looked at all the wins from last week, so I'll show you guys the results from last week. Yeah, Roosevelt, right, bro? Me too, man. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, if you looked at the trades from last week over here, we applied the same strategy all throughout and we had no losses. So like April week 3 over here, we had all wins for Forex. We had all wins for US 30. You can see how many wins for US 30 we had every day. We had about 1, 2, 3, 4 on Monday. We had about 3 on Tuesday, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins on Wednesday. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins on Thursday, and we had 3 wins on Friday. So as you guys can see, usually when the market's moving smooth, this strategy works perfectly fine. It's just today, stuff is just bouncing back and forth. Yeah, Steven said it's rejecting off the high time frame order block 1 hour US 30. That's what I was thinking too. I think maybe our stop loss might have been too close, so we might have to spread that out a little wider. But we'll see. Like I mentioned, the strategy is still new, and we're still working on it. So, yeah, man, this is some BS right here. It literally just triggered it, and then it came all the way back down. But I mean, it's all good, guys. Like I mentioned, we're still working on this. You know, the strategy is only going to get better. Maybe if we had our stop loss a little wider to 750, it would have been a bigger difference right there. See, if we had our stop loss a little wider, we'd still be in the trade and back in a profit right now. So we'll keep working on this. Like I mentioned, it's only been 2 weeks, so there's a lot of stuff for us to factor in when applying this. Yeah, Jeff said Shawn, market's going to move wild this week. I think you were talking about it last week, right, Jeff? There's a lot of stuff that was going on, or there's a lot of fundamental stuff that's going on in the background. This yeah, Jeff said Shawn, market's going to be wild this week. Fang reports, the big boys earnings report this week. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of earnings report for like the big hedge funds and stuff like that, or like the big like the big assets or stocks, the holdings that are going to be releasing reports. It's not going to be like the normal stuff. It's going to be the bigger ones, FANG reports. So it's, yeah, Jeff said Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Google, all the big companies, and the other stuff as well. Basically all the ones that are within the FANG report. If you guys want to go and look it up on Google, you guys can. Just like Google FANG reports, and you'll see what we're talking about. If you guys aren't familiar with what we're talking about here. But yeah, pretty much all the big names, they're releasing their earnings this week. So the problem with that is a lot of them are within the US 30. If you guys are familiar with the US 30 index, I'll show you what stocks are in there. So looking at over here. So looking at this over here, you guys can see which stocks are in the US 30 index that we're trading here. You can see all the big names, right? They're going to be releasing their earnings report this week. So that's why price is going to be going back and forth. A lot of people are betting whether they're going to be good or whether they're going to be bad. So a lot of stuff off here. So, oh man, Stanley's here. What's up, Stanley? Don't tell me Stanley brought the curse, bro. I'm just messing with you, Stanley. Yeah, no, good to see you, bro. I know you were here like all last week. Last week we had all wins. It seems like every time you decide to take a break, bro, we have like a hot winning streak. Because you did see on Friday, you know, everything that we hit, and it was like that 1 week you decided to take a break. Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of fundamentals going on this week. There's, you know, just like Jeff said, the earnings report for the bigger companies are releasing their earnings this week, and they're all in the Dow 30. So like he mentioned, you know, Apple, Amazon, Facebook. Is Facebook still on here? I wonder if they took them off. They took Facebook off of the Dow 30. So they're like consistently shifting different assets through here. But Apple's still on here, obviously. Let's see what the biggest. Yeah, that's kind of weird because you guys can see right here. Look at the companies here on the Dow. Majority of them are red, right? So you can see a lot of them are red, but the Dow is pushing up. Well, it's still pushing up right now. So it's kind of weird to see this push up when majority of the stocks here in the index are red. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 out of the 30 stocks in the Dow are red, but it's still pushing up. It looks like American Express is what's carrying over the Dow right now. They're up 2%. Boeing's up 2%. Goldman Sachs is 1.7. So these guys are anchoring over the Dow, but majority of the stocks in the Dow index here are red right now. So that's why we would have expected it to drop, and that's probably why it's going to continue dropping right here. I'm like tempted to hop back in for a sell, but we'll see. I mean, I'm not trying to over risk anything right now. It's just not really worth the risk, you know, at this point. So see this as we go. Let's see. Yeah, we'll keep watching it to see where the stuff's going. But yeah, you guys can see right here for US 30, it's not really moving smoothly, right? It's supposed to move like in one direction, but you can see right here it's bouncing back and forth. So we'll see where it goes from here. I'll just delete these lower zones because they're irrelevant at this point. But we'll keep watching. It's only 7 o'clock right now. We have about 2 hours until 10. I mean, 3 hours until 10, 2 hours until 9. And we'll see what direction it decides to push in. It looks like it's just going to consolidate within this area right here, actually. So if I just delete this zone right here, you can see that it's probably going to consolidate for a bit until it chooses its direction. So we'll keep watching it. But we're probably not going to enter any scalps right now. I'm personally not going to enter any scalps because of how the market's moving right now. We just don't have a direction. We want a direction to be set before we take any trades here. Because if you look here on the 3 minute, see, this could have been a possible sell entry right here. Thankfully, we didn't take it. I mean, not that I would have, but if we did take this right here, it would be into massive drawdown, right? So I'm going to wait for the market to smoothen out, figure out what direction it's going. Once it figures out its direction, then we'll start taking some trades in that direction. But right now, it's just not really worth the risk. So this would have been a buy entry right here as well. I'll mark it up, but just keep in mind that this isn't an official entry. I'm just marking it up so that we can follow it to see if it follows through with the buy that it's provided right here. So don't take this trade, guys. This is just a markup. But this would have been a buy entry here using the snipe strategy. If you guys are familiar with the snipe strategy, this is the K² snipe strategy. So first you want to confirm a wick rejection off K² pivot, which can be any pivot. To confirm a wick rejection off K² SR zone. Next, confirm wick rejection off K² pivot does not touch candle body. And lastly, you want to confirm confirm entry in direction of momentum using K² momentum indicator. All right, so like looking at this right here, we have the wick rejection off this pivot right here, this blue pivot. We have the wick rejection off the K² SR zone. The pivot isn't touching the body. And lastly, the direction of momentum is bullish, right? Because the most recent signal right here is a buy signal. So that's why we would mark this up right here. But like I mentioned, I wouldn't enter this trade right now because of how the market's moving. It hasn't really settled for a direction yet. Right here, we have a pending sell actually. So if that becomes the case, bias might shift from a buy to a sell. So that's pretty much what we're looking up over here as we speak. But yeah, guys, just a reminder, don't take this trade. This is just a markup. We're just gonna follow it and see if it plays through. But it's not something that we want to take right now because price hasn't really set its direction. Like I was saying right here, price is still consolidating, right? Well, not really consolidating, but it's ranging. Usually US 30 when it moves on open, it usually goes directional. So I'll show you guys, since we're in some downtime right now, I'll show you guys what I mean by that. Let's just go back to, I guess, like Thursday or Friday, I guess. Yeah, okay, so looking at Friday right here. So I'll show you what I mean about how price moves. So right here at 6:30, we'll mark up 6:30 and we'll mark up 10 o'clock. Mark up 10 o'clock. So as you can see right here, or actually Friday's a bad example because market doesn't move smooth on Friday. So let's go to Thursday. So Thursday over here, let's see, it's Thursday right up here, right? So this is 6:30, and then this would be 10 o'clock right here. So as you can see, usually from 6:30 to 10 my time, price will go directional, right? It'll just go up. And then once it reaches 10 o'clock, what happens from that point? It just comes crashing all the way back down, right? That's basically what we're looking for here. We're looking for a direction during New York session from 6:30 to 10 so that we can take scalps in that direction. We want to stop trading somewhere before 10. I usually stop trading around 9, like around this area right here. 9 o'clock, I usually stop trading because at this point, that's like the dead zone where price usually just consolidates before it drops. So this is basically what we're looking for here today. We're looking for this movement where price goes directional. Looking at price right now, it's not really moving directional, right? I think we'll have a bullish bias. It'll probably move bullish, but we won't really know that until it actually confirms. Like until price breaks past the first candle right here, then I'll be convinced that price is going to keep pushing up. Like once it breaks above there, then yeah, okay, we'll start looking for some buys. But right now, price is just going sideways right now from here and from here, right? It's pretty much just consolidating at this point. I'll just move this down to, or we'll keep going down, and I'll show you how it moved on the previous days as well. So that was Thursday, and then looking at, or is it Wednesday over here? Yeah, so looking at Wednesday, you can see that price went up from 6:30. So 6:30 right here, it was directional, right? Up until 10. So in directional from 6:30 till 10 upwards. And then once it hit 10, it just consolidated a bit. And then we usually don't follow it through until like once it gets to Asia session over here, this area, we don't really follow it because it's just going to go sideways. And that's pretty much usually what happens right here. Going back to the previous day here on Tuesday, it's usually the same pattern that just keeps repeating itself. It doesn't happen every single time. Like you can see from Wednesday, it was kind of a slow movement. So I'll show you again here on Tuesday. So Wednesday here is a slow movement. It came up, then it just consolidated right here on Tuesday. This was Wednesday. This is Tuesday. This is 6:30. Price was directional up until around 10, like 10:30 around that time. So like right here, price was directional downwards. And then like it happened on Wednesday over here, it just kind of consolidated a bit before it ended up going back up and then went back into consolidation into Asia session over here. So that's why we stopped trading around 10. If you guys are wondering why I stopped trading around 10, this is why, because the market usually either reverses or it just goes sideways. And that's basically what we're looking for here. You can see from 6 till 10 directional. And then lastly, again, I'll show you one more example over here from 6 till 10 so that you guys will know that what we're looking for here and why we're waiting for that confirmation before we actually enter anything. So looking at this right here, 6:30 up until 10, you can see how it's directional, moving downwards, right? So that's what we're waiting for here. We're waiting for that directional movement, for that confirmation that it's actually going to move in that direction. So let's go back to current price over here. Yeah, it's still going sideways. We're just waiting for it to pick a side, whether it goes up, whether it goes down, and then we'll hop into that. But right now, there's just, obviously there's just nothing for us to look at this point. Here's that scalp entry that I was just talking about using that snipe. It's still running sideways. But until we get that confirmation, I'm not going to hop into any trades right now. Let's delete this. And we'll wait for it to choose its direction. Madhu, try logging out and logging back in. Did you try doing that? Because you probably haven't updated your trading view yet. And you got to make sure that you're not searching it under the public script. You got to make sure that you're looking on the invite only tab, because that's a common issue that people run into. Chills on demand is asking, what's order block, Shawn? Please explain to me. Thanks in advance. I don't have time to explain it to you in detail, Chills or Akeem. It's basically where liquidity is. It's where a lot of orders are being placed. If you Google it or just YouTube it, there's a lot of videos explaining how it's done. But if you don't understand what it is already, it's gonna be a lot for you to understand. So just go to YouTube and just search order blocks, and you'll find a video there explaining in detail. I can't explain it to you right now because we're trading right now. If you ask me during a mentoring session, I could explain it to you. But if not, then you know, I can explain it to you when we have some free time. It's not right now while we're live trading, but right now I'm going to focus on these scalps right here. But if you want to look it up, just look it up on YouTube or Google Akeem, and you'll find a lot of different explanations, because there's different ways to identify it. Or if you're in the premium, just ask David. David's like the master of order blocks if you want to talk to him about it. Here's a scalp right here, guys. The scalp that I just called earlier is about to hit TP, or I mean, it would have hit TP2. TP2 would have been right here on 25. So TP2 would have been hit already right there, which is fine. And it's probably going to shoot up to the next one over here as we continue on with that using the strategy here. So it looks like it's starting to set its direction. Once price breaks above here, then I'll start looking for some buys. But like I mentioned, for a while, I'm not going to take any trades until we have that that confirmation. Let's see, Ms. AP's asking, are you profitable trading US 30? I don't know. Go back and watch all the live sessions, and you'll see if we're profitable here trading US 30. I'm assuming you're new here, so I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just being serious. If like you want to see if we're profitable here, go back and look at any of the live sessions for the past 2 years, and you'll see if we're profitable trading US 30. Because I'd rather have you see from actual, like my actual trading, like live trading, than me showing you results. Because I can just show you results here, and you're going to be like, oh, well, that's not legit, right? Because if you traded with us last week, all of them were wins here. We had a total of how many? 25 wins and 0 losses for US 30 for a gain of 6,400 pips. And they're all taken during the live session. So if you want to go watch any live session from last week, that's where you'll figure it out, and you'll see, you know, if we're profitable US 30 or not. I'd rather have you see us actually trade it live and see for yourself if it's legit or not, rather than me showing you results. Because results, they don't really say anything to you. You know, anyone can make fake results up. But if you want to see us trading it live and see if they actually hit, then you can go back and watch every live session from Monday to Friday last week. Or you can watch any session for the past 2 years if you want to. And you can see we trade the same way. It's the same way that we've been trading for a long time now. And you'll see that we apply the same strategy every day. And that's just me trying to be, completely transparent with you guys, so that you guys can follow through with it. Because, I mean, if you want to see the profits too, like if you want to see all of our profits from last week, you can see here, look at all these wins over here. So if I go to last week, so 25th, all these wins here for US 30, we're all profitable here trading US 30. It's not just me, it's everyone here. All these blue screens right here, all this blue right here for US 30. This is all just from last week. See, literally all wins right there. All wins right there. And these aren't even my profits. These are everyone in K2s. There's Marcus's from last week. I mean, everyone does good here. So yeah, I'm not really here to prove anything to you. If you want to go see for yourself, go ahead and watch the videos. I mean, not the videos, all the live streams from last week. And then you can see, whether you can be the judge of yourself to see whether it is or not. But anyways, I'm still looking for an entry here off US 30. It's still going sideways, as you guys can see right here. I'm waiting for it to break above this this previous high or below this previous low for us to start looking for some sells or for some buys. But there just hasn't been a direction set yet. Keep in mind, today is Monday too, so the market is going to move kind of funky on Monday. It's not always going to move pretty smoothly. Roosevelt said, Shawn, I think gold's going to go up in a few minutes. I know you can make money scalping it. Yeah, no, definitely. A lot of you guys do trade gold. I think my markup from last week, I was going to call this trade for you guys as well, GCAD. Unfortunately, I didn't call it for you guys. It's in profit right now. It was just moving weird. It pulled into some drawdown, so I decided not to call it. But I do have it marked up right here because I was going to call it at 6 o'clock about an hour ago, but I didn't. So let me go over to gold real quick. Yeah, gold's still playing out like how I marked it up from yesterday. I still think it's going to come down, probably test this for a double bottom, and it's going to swing back up. Looking at the dollar index right here, this is the reason why it's coming down. It's coming down because the dollar index is strong, right? When the dollar index is strong, it moves opposite of gold. That's why it's coming down right here. Because if you guys are familiar with basic fundamentals, when price is going down, that means that the second currency is stronger than the first. And that's why it's coming down right here, because the dollar index is pushing up. If the dollar index starts to push down, then you can expect this to push up, because when it pushes up, that means the first currency is stronger than the second currency. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I see right there for gold Roosevelt. But I'm probably not going to look at it myself because I'm going to be more focused on these US 30 scalps because I see it possibly moving up. I mean, we'll see. You know, we're not going to really know about it until oh shit, this is what I missed, right? So we missed this right here. This would have been a scalp right here off this one. It would have hit TP already. Josh, I don't know if you spot this right here, but I mean, we wouldn't have taken it anyways. We wouldn't have taken it because of how the market's moving right now. But if you guys did take it, this would have been the entry off that scalp off the 1 minute. So we'll see. I mean, if I see one over here off the 10 minute or the 3 minute, then we could possibly hop into this. But I think I'm going to stick with the 1 minute for right now. Yeah, I think the 1 minute is probably going to be the safest right now because we don't really have a clear direction set for these over here. But it looks like it's going to be bullish. I mean, for the most part, it looks like it's going to be bullish over here. Nice. Charlotte locked in some nice profit this morning too. So Charlotte over here locked in some wins off US 30. So he caught it as it came back down. Looks like you caught it from that high right there, Charlotte, right? So you locked in about 473 this morning. Nice. All right, we got a scalp signal on the 1 over here. So looks like we'll possibly be looking for a buy. I think price is going to keep pushing up. So I'm going to wait for this to come down, which is fine. Wait for it to come down. Once we get that next buy signal, we can probably hop in for a quick little scalp. All right. All right, here's a 3 minute scalp right here. So yeah, if I see one here on the 1 minute, I think I might, I mean, we'll have to wait for it because I'm still waiting for that direction to be set. There still hasn't been a direction here setting that it's, you know, confirming that's going to be a bullish move, but it looks like that's going to be the case here. It's just the last thing I want to do is enter a buy here and then it ends up coming back down once it reaches the zone over here again for another rejection, right? So let me see how many pips are from this area to here. It's not really that much. It's only 30 pips. So I'm not going to take this off the 3 minute. It's just too risky to take that. If we do see it here on the 1 minute, this might be decent, but you know, like I was saying, we got to be patient and wait for that confirmation before we trade in that direction, because you don't want to hop in too early. You don't want to hop in too late. You just want to make sure that we have that full confirmation for we get into this, because it literally, if you look at US 30 now, it's just going sideways. It's not moving like how it did over here on Thursday, again right here on Wednesday, and again right here on Tuesday. Usually price has to move sideways. Let's see, it's 7 o'clock right now. Usually by 7, it starts to move directional, right? It might go sideways for a bit. Once past 7, it starts to move directional, because you can see right here, it moved sideways on Tuesday from 6:30 up until 7. Once it hit 7, it just started dropping, right? Same situation over here, but this kind of moved a little. It just kept moving up from open. It moved up from 6:30 and just went straight up. So we'll give it a few more time. A few more minutes, maybe probably by like 7:30, 8 o'clock, it should probably choose this direction. But in some instances, it might move sideways for a while like this. So looking at this right here on Monday, was this Monday last week? Let me check the calendar. Monday of last week. Yeah, actually, so this, maybe it's just the Monday thing. So looking at Monday from last week, this is April 19th on Monday. You guys can see right here that that price actually went sideways for a bit. It went sideways until like the whole day. So maybe it's a Monday thing. Maybe it's just Monday that the market goes sideways like that. But yeah, obviously you can see here on Thursday, it went directional up. Wednesday, directional down. Monday over here, it just went sideways. Literally just went sideways the whole time. I mean, it went directional down, but it was still sideways, right? So it looks kind of similar to what's happening today, right over here. Oh man, this thing's dropping. So like I was going over earlier for that 1 minute. So Roosevelt, do you see this right here, bro? Yeah, man. Yeah, it just hit. Yeah, no, Monday actually did work out, Kyle. It worked out perfectly fine. It's just today's been a little different. But yeah, looking at this right here, Roosevelt, you following this, bro? Like, this thing is it's actually going down to it's back in profit again from our entry this morning, that breakout entry. So this is why we're waiting for that confirmation. If it ends up closing below here, this is perfectly fine. If it ends up closing below here and it just starts going lower and lower, because now it looks like our bias is coming down, right? If the bias is coming down, then that's perfect. We'll start looking for some sell scalps as we speak over here. So now that we're looking for this, if this sell signal closes in the next minute, then the bias changes from a buy to a sell, and then that's going to be perfect for us, because then we can start looking for possible scalps in that direction. And this is going to line up with our daily entry here as well. I'm not going to call this as an official entry because I just don't feel comfortable with it, just because how price has been moving today. But I'll mark it up for you guys if you guys decide to take that daily entry. I think for the most part, we'll be focused more on scalps to mitigate our loss from that breakout entry. But we'll see. I mean, it hasn't confirmed yet, right? We've got 30 seconds left on this candle. If this candle doesn't close with the sell signal, then I think it's just going to keep ranging until it finds that direction. Yeah, looks like it was trying to fake people out. It tried to like lure people into that sells, into the sells, but it hasn't really confirmed it yet. All right, false alarm, guys. I was thinking that it was going to come down, but now this candle is going to close with no signal there. Yep, it's back into the range. It's just ranging sideways. So we'll wait a little longer. It's 7:20 right now. Hopefully by 8 we'll have a direction set. If not, we'll just keep watching and see what's going on from here. All right. So that was anticlimactic. Now we're just waiting for that confirmation to Peter said, I miss Trump. The markets were so much better. Yeah, it was a lot more volatile when Trump was around, because everything he said would push the market around one way or another, right? Now it's kind of just I feel like there's more sideways days than directional days, right, Peter? I'm pretty sure you think the same thing. Yeah, it looks like we might be looking for some sells here. I'm waiting for that confirmation right here. If we get that sell signal, then I'm going to be convinced. Well, not convinced, but I'm going to be more inclined to take sells, because it does look like price is coming down from this point, from here. So it's probably going to go down for a bit, maybe consolidate. But as long as we have a bias, that's really what's going to be important here for these scalps. Because price is now swinging back down for the 3 minutes. So this might reject off this point right here, or it might not. I was looking for the wick rejection off this area right here. Waiting for the wick rejection. Once we get that wick rejection, I would expect it to drop, but we just don't have it right now. Oh man, this is even worse. If we get this invalid sell signal right here, then it just confirms even more uncertainty in the market. All right, we're just waiting for it. We got about 8 minutes left on this candle. We'll see where it moves from there. Let's see, Mark. I'm going to respond to your question right now. Cheryl, so the market is like 20-year-old me, no direction in life. right? That's horrible, dude. Yeah, looking at this here, I mean, it's not really choosing direction, right? The same markup that I had from earlier, it's still going sideways. You guys can see how I marked the high and marked the low right here. It's just ranging at this point. And if it's ranging, you don't really want to trade when price is ranging like this, because price can easily break out up or it can easily break out down. And the last thing you want to do is be on the wrong side of the market when that happens, right? I want price to be below here and continue to push down before I start taking some trades, so that I'll be, I'll have that peace of mind that price is going in that direction, so that if it does retrace on me, I'll know that that's probably temporary, and then it'll probably just keep pushing in that direction. So we just gotta wait. Just gotta wait for that confirmation until we get into these trades here. I'm looking here on the 3-minute. I was waiting for a rejection off the pivot and to come back down, but just looking at current price over here, it doesn't look like that rejection is coming. So we'll see. Yeah, it's about 3 minutes. Price is gonna be back up here, back into some more consolidation. All right, so nothing there. Looking at gold right here, looks like gold's gonna be pushing back up. Who asked for this earlier? I forgot. I forgot. Someone was asking about gold earlier. Yeah, my bad. I forgot who was asking about gold, but yeah, going back to my gold analysis from earlier, guys, like I mentioned, if price goes down here, you can expect gold to push up. If the DXY starts to push up from this point, then you can expect gold to go down. But right now, you can see the DXY is pretty weak, right? It's starting to push back down. So as it continues to push down from this point, we could probably expect it to continue pushing in this direction upwards, because it moves opposite of gold. Vishnu said, is it me or is the market most screwed up on Mondays? It kind of is, because the market reopens on Monday, Vishnu. So usually on Mondays, the market's kind of back and forth. It's not really like it's not really directional. Like if you look at Monday from like last week, so this is Monday this week, it's just going sideways. Mondays and Fridays are usually kind of off, right? So looking at Monday from last week, if I take this off over here, looking at Monday on the 19th, so last Monday, it was just going sideways right here as well, right? It was going down, but it wasn't really a directional move down. It's more so just a sideways move and a slow movement down, versus, Tuesday over here, straight drop, Wednesday over here, straight push up, Thursday over here, straight push up as well. So, I mean, it's kind of let me check the calendar to see if there's any other days here. So let me see, the last Monday before that was the 5th. So let me just check that real quick. So right here on the 5th, we'll see how it was moving on April 5th, the previous Monday. All right, so let me just mark this up right here, 6:30. Now, actually, the Monday before that was fine. So you can see the Monday before that, it was actually pretty directional. So this was NFP week though. So the first week of April right here on Monday, it actually was directional, like how it's supposed to be. And then around 10, it reversed, right? How it normally does. So it is back and forth, but I mean, yeah, looking at the market today, it's just, it hasn't really chosen its direction. I think it's going to come down, but it's going to be a slow move down. So back here on the 1 minute, I'm like tempted to, actually, I'm not tempted to enter this anymore, because if you guys can see right here, this sell signal right here, if we were to take this sell signal right here, this might have been a loss. Yeah, thankfully we didn't take that trade there. So this is why we're being patient, because price is just bouncing back and forth. It hasn't really set a direction. Until we get that direction, it'd be safer to hold off. Like this right here, this would be a sell scalp right here, but I wouldn't have taken it. And we'll follow it. Don't take the trade, guys. I'm just following it just to see if the market's starting to smooth out. The way we'll figure out if the market's starting to smooth out is if trades start to hit. If they keep hitting back to back, then yeah, market's starting to smooth out. We'll be able to figure out its direction. But right now, we just don't have that direction yet. Right now, I personally have a sell bias because of how the 10-minute is moving. It's moving slightly down, but it hasn't really made that confirmation of its move. But yeah, see this right here? We'll see how this ends up playing out. But this isn't a trade. Don't enter this trade. So Steven, I know you're probably watching this live stream right now. Don't enter this trade because I know you're probably thinking to enter this right now because you see this marked up on the chart. But just a reminder, this isn't a trade right here. We're just following it to see if the market is actually moving how we want it to move. But yeah, I'm just gonna have that marked up right there. We still don't have a direction set. Looking at this right here until price breaks below here, or until price breaks. So like from this point, if price breaks below here, then we'll start looking for some sells. Price breaks above here, we'll start looking for some buys. But right now, price hasn't done that yet. So we're just waiting for that confirmation before we can start taking, trades in that direction. It's 7:30 right now, so it's getting closer to 8 and 9. As we get closer to 9 o'clock, that's time when we probably just hold off on the market. Because the market will go into some deep consolidation until 10. But you see a big drop right here. There we go for that full TP off that 1 minute. There we go. So full TP off that, if you guys decided, or I mean, obviously I told you guys not to take it, but for the people who are trading it on their own and did take this, then yeah, there goes the sell right there. It looks like our bias is starting to move towards a sell. So, all right, so it's filling in exactly how I thought it would. And if this continues to confirm that drop below here, then we'll start looking for some sells. All right, perfect. So I'm starting to look at trades now. Now that some sort of direction has been somewhat set. We got 40 seconds left on this candle right here. If this candle ends up closing, this is the daily entry, but I'm not going to take it, or I'm not going to call it as an official entry. If you guys do want to take it, it'll be an at your risk trade. So we got about 20 seconds left on this candle right here. Just keep in mind, if you guys do just take it, it will be an accurate trade because we don't have that full confirmation yet that price is going to continue pushing in this direction. So looking at this over here, we're waiting for this to drop. It's not going to drop, right? Until we get that signal right there. No. So still a direction set, guys. Unfortunately, the market still hasn't given us our direction for US 30. So we'll have to wait a little further to confirm that. But yeah, this one over here already hit TP. So this one's good. Off that over there. So this one over here hit, but we still want that confirmation. We still don't have a confirmation yet for that sell. So we don't have a daily entry. Like in order to take that daily entry, if you guys are familiar with the daily strategy, so this is the K2. So for you guys who are new here, this is a K2 US 30 daily entry. So first you want to look for trades after 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is the New York Stock Exchange open. 2, identify the first valid K2 momentum signal. 3, enter on the open of the following candle. So that's what we're looking for right here on the 10-minute. That's what we're looking for right here. We haven't had that signal yet. We had a temporary signal come up, but it closed. It didn't. It did closing right there. But yeah, looking at this over here. So we'll look at Friday's entry over here on the what was it, the 23rd? So looking at the 23rd over here, 6:30 is going to be right over here, right? And I'll just show you guys how the strategy works if you got, because some of you guys here are brand new. So looking at this right here, we're looking for after 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. 6:30 is right here. We identify the first valid K2 signal, and then we enter on the open of the following candle right here. So this is basically what we're looking for here for you guys here who are brand new. We set it to 1,500 pips. We let this run, and there you go, full TP right there. If you were to take that right there, and that's what we're looking for right here for today. But like I mentioned, we're waiting for that to give us that signal. So we have a pending signal again right there. This was 6:30, so this is when the market did open. Market opened right here at 6:30. Now we're just looking for that sell signal. There's that sell signal right there. So if it closes like it did right here, then this will be an entry using the daily strategy. But until that happens, we're not going to have that confirmation yet. We got about 7 minutes left on this candle. Once it closes, we'll be following through with that. Nice. What's up, Mike? Yeah, Mike said, what are you trading? Yeah, we're trading US 30. Nice. You trade horses? Yeah, no, definitely, bro. I mean, if you want to make some profit here, I mean, it doesn't matter. You can just copy the trades as we take them and you can do pretty well. It's pretty much how a lot of other people are making profit here. But if you want to make a lot of profit, you just want to learn the strategy and do it yourself. Because obviously you'll have way more opportunity if you do it that way. So we got 6 minutes left on this candle. Looking here on the 3 minute, there's no entry there. Looking here on the 1 minute, there's no entry here as well. Well, this one would have hit TP, but now we're looking for a retracement. We want price to retrace back up, and then we catch it as it swings back down off the 1 minute right here. Same with the 3 minute. We want a buy signal, a swing back, and we catch it as it swings back down. But this is only once we have that confirmation of that sell bias right here. Right? We still got 6 minutes for this sell to close. When it does close, then we'll have that sell bias, and then people could probably enter this daily entry if you want, but I'm not going to call it as an official signal for the day, just because of how the market's moving today. I don't like how the market's kind of just going sideways. I want it to be moving directional before I enter anything really, really big for the most part. All right, so we got about 5 minutes left on this 10-minute candle. 3 minute over here. We're still waiting for this to come down. There's no entry here yet. See how far this retraced up. Yeah, retraced it pretty heavy. Looking for this 1 minute retracement as well. All right. Still nothing there. There's a pending sell signal here off this current candle, but there really isn't enough volatility pushing price down. So we're still looking for that, waiting for it to close out, for that confirmation. Once we have it, then we can possibly enter this, but it doesn't really look like it's going to close out. Market's barely moving right now for US 30. Surprisingly, because that opening candle was crazy. If you guys were here on opening, volatility was really high. All right, so looking at this point over here. Looks like the Dow is kind of moving back and forth. It's not really, there we go. So we got that pending sell right here. I think we had another sell that showed up here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. No, we don't. All right. So just this right here off this, this 10 minute for a possible daily entry. We have about 4 minutes left on this candle. We'll wait for it to close. Once it closes, I'll mark it up for you, but just keep in mind that this isn't going to be an official call, right? I'm not going to take this on my own account. I'm going to be scalping within it, but I'm not going to be going for the big move here. All right. 4 minutes left on this candle. Hopefully it closes because I really want this to move directional. There we go. So we just want this to close. If it closes below this this horizontal line right here, then might be confirmation of a move in that direction. But we need that. If we don't have that close, it's just not going to it's not going to be ready. So we got about 3 minutes left on this candle. See how it continues to push. See the 3 minute over here starting to push down as well. All right, this is perfect. Once we have this confirmation, we can start looking for some scalps. 3 minutes left. Keep watching for it. Two minutes left. I'm trying to figure out something to keep me preoccupied while I'm waiting for this. All right, we got 2 minutes left. We got 1:30 left. All right, I'll keep watching for this right here. Look, you guys see price right now? In this last minute, it just pulled right back up into the range. So we'll keep watching for it. I'm hoping it drops. We still have a minute left. So in a minute, price can still come back down and provide for that sell signal. But if it doesn't, I mean, we're probably just going to have another sideways movement every day. I mean, not every day. Sorry. I was just reading Mike's message right here. Yeah, Mike, I trade live every day. So if you want to go back to the YouTube channel, you can watch all of the live sessions for the past 2 years. But I trade every day from Sunday until Friday. All right, man. 40 seconds. No entry here. This is becoming a really anticlimactic Monday. I was hoping today was going to kick off pretty heavy, but it's just moving all slow. We did make a lot of profit yesterday, so I'm still in profit for the week, which is it's not bad. I'm in profit for the week, but I was hoping to keep it going today, but market just isn't really moving at all, really. I mean, let's move this down a little lower. All right, so here we are back into the range. So there goes that sell that we were looking for. It's not closing. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so not much volatility here for US 30 this morning. We'll keep watching it, see if there's anything that we can possibly take. Nothing here off the 3-minute as well. Also nothing here off the off the 1 minute. So well, if I see an entry here on the 1 minute, we'll probably take it. But looking here on the 10-minute, there's no entry that's available. So, but it does look like it's in a bearish bias, right? You guys can see here now that price is actually going downwards, which is fine, because then now we can start looking for some possible sell scalps here off the 1 minute. So I'm still going to be looking for some sell scalps. My bias is now skewed for a sell. Looking at this here, if this ends up closing right here, this will be an entry off the 10-minute for the daily entry. But other than that, I mean, it looks like we're probably skewing to a sell here. If this closes right here, then this is going to be some sells as well. We'll look for a drop right there, retracement, and then catch as it comes back down off of this one here. Same with a 3-minute. We might look for a short retracement here and then catch it as it comes back down from that point as well. So yeah, we do have a sell bias here. I mean, it's not a strong sell bias because obviously right here on the 10-minute, it hasn't really even broken out of this range yet, but it's all good. We're going to be looking for some possible sell scalps here as we continue on. So here on the 1 minute, what I'm waiting for here is I'm waiting for an opposite buy signal. And then when we get that sell signal, then I'll catch it as it comes back down for a small scalp. So now that we have somewhat of a bias now, we'll know what to look out for. Unfortunately, Roosevelt, you see this over here? This ended up coming right back down, Roosevelt. So if you were still in that breakout entry that we took earlier, you being profit right now, bro. Yeah, that's crazy, man. This freaking market is something else today. Yeah, Roosevelt, looking at that right there. I kind of wish I held on to it now a little further, right? Because he just went past the stop loss and then it came crashing down right after. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna keep dropping from this point. Shortstein said, just look at Bitcoin when you have a time during sessions. You don't want to distract from the trades. Yeah, no, it's fine, Shortstein. I'll take a look in a little bit. Actually, I can take a look right now because there really isn't much for us to look at right now until we have this entry. We're still looking for an opposite signal. So I'll try to look at it really quick. I'll just analyze it for you because I have 7 minutes here on this 10-minute anyways. So we got 7 minutes on here. And then off this 1 minute, we still need opposite signal. So let's pull up Bitcoin for you real quick. So looking at Bitcoin over here, Let me just zoom out from this. Let me take everything off the chart. Here's the naked chart right here. First thing I'm going to do is identify the market structure. So I'm going to draw this up right here. So we got that right there. That right there. That right there. There. Yeah, Bitcoin dropped a lot over the weekend, huh? I didn't realize that it dropped so much. So we'll just merge these two right here. All right, so looking at this point right here off Bitcoin, you know, I probably want to get the lower zone down as well. All right, so there we go. So I'll turn this off right here. And if you guys are familiar with how I trade Bitcoin, I usually buy the dip. I should have bought right here. I didn't even look at it on Thursday, but it looks like it's going to be swinging back up from this point over here. Let me go back to US 30 real quick. All right. Yeah, US 30 is starting to dump right now. But yeah, going back to Bitcoin over here, short scene. If you guys are familiar with how I trade Bitcoin, I actually sold out my Bitcoin when it was up here. When I saw this drop happen, I just sold off all of my Bitcoin and I was waiting to buy it at the dip right here at this support. I should have bought it right here. I didn't buy it because I wasn't looking at Bitcoin at the time. I thought it was going to drop further. But right here, this bounce right here as well. So double bottom right there. And usually when I buy Bitcoin, I just wait for it to dip, right? So I'll buy right here. And then as it comes up and it comes back down, I'll buy some more Bitcoin right here. And then as it comes up again, comes back down to this area, I buy some more Bitcoin right here. So every time it dips down to a K2SR level, I'll buy some more Bitcoin. Looking at this right here, looks like Bitcoin is starting to recover slightly. So I think if it comes back down here, so say if it comes back down, I'll probably buy back into Bitcoin right here. Or if it comes up here and then it comes back down, then I'll buy back more right here as well. But looking at this here, short scene, it does look like Bitcoin is starting to swing back up. Obviously, Bitcoin is a directional asset, right? It usually goes up, similar to gold, similar to the dollar index, or the dollar index is going down actually, but you know, it just moves directional like those assets. Here, we'll turn on the momentum indicator. So yeah, looking at this right here. So we had a buy signal right here, right? So we had a rejection from this point. Buy signal right here. I don't actively trade Bitcoin. I just buy and hold it. So like right here, if you were to take this trade, I mean, I wouldn't put a stop loss because I don't actively trade it. But just looking at this right here, what you would look for next, like if you want to look for that next big move, you probably want it to close above here because when it breaks structure, that's where you start to catch those bigger moves. Like right here, for example, broke structure, you could have taken a buy right there. Would have went straight up from that point. Same situation here, price broke structure, and you just catch it, it goes up. I'm not sure how you trade it short scene, so I'm not sure how you want me to analyze it. But if you want me to analyze it how I trade it, you know, I trade it long term. So I probably would have bought some down here if I was watching it. This was last night actually, so I didn't even pay attention to it. But now that I'm looking to possibly buy, I want to wait for it to come back down to this area right here, and then I'll buy some more at a discount as it comes down from this point. And that's pretty much how I would trade Bitcoin. But if you want me to analyze it from like a scalp perspective or something like that, short scene, go ahead and let me know. And then I can analyze it from there. But this is pretty much how I would take it from a longer perspective. Because I personally just don't like to actively trade Bitcoin. It's just, it's not volatile all the time. And the spread is kind of wide depending on what broker you're trading on. So I just buy and hold it long term. Anyways, going back to US 30 over here. All right, so this is about to close right here in about 2 minutes. If this closes right here, this is going to be the daily entry. Like I mentioned before, guys, I'm not going to be taking this as a official entry, but I'll just mark it up for you guys to take it if you guys want to take it, because it is going to be it's technically an official daily entry. It's just not going to be called as an official signal because I just don't like how the market's moving. So again, right there, you can see the signal just keeps disappearing. So it's not really confirming the movement as we see it, but it does look like it's going to continue dropping. So I'm looking here on the 1 minute. I'm waiting for the retracement back up so that when it comes back down, I'm going to hop right back into it. And then I'm going to scalp these for some smaller moves, bigger lot size, just to cover the risk for the specific trade over here. So we got about 2 minutes left on this candle. Once it closes, we'll we'll start looking for the next one here. Oh, gotcha. Okay, Shortson. Yeah. So Shortson said, okay, got it. Just want to know from long-term perspective. I think it's gonna be bullish. I think Bitcoin's always gonna be bullish. I don't think it's gonna drop that far because Bitcoin's like it's like the gold standard of crypto, right? So I think Bitcoin is gonna keep pushing up. It's probably gonna keep dipping, but eventually people are gonna buy that dip and it's gonna keep pushing up higher and higher. And look at US 30, guys. So no signal there. It just retraced back up. That signal didn't close. We had like a minute left. Within the last minute or so, it just ended up retracing all the way back up. So we'll be watching for this here. Here we are on the 1 minute. So this is fine. We have this bullish candle right here. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at the 1 minute now for a possible sell. It doesn't look like we're going to get it here on the 10 minute. So I'll be looking here for a possible sell off the 1 minute. Let me just take out these pivots here because we're not really following those anymore. All right, so I got this all set up, ready for me to go when it comes time. All right, looking for the possible sell here. All right, I'm watching for the sell here. And just keep in mind, guys, if you guys are new here and you guys aren't familiar with how we scalp this on the 1 minute, this setup here isn't going to be our TP stop loss. This is just going to be a safety net. Usually when we trade here on the 1 minute, we enter and exit manually. So we enter the trade when it closes. When it comes down, then we exit manually. We just close the trade in profit. We don't set a TP stop loss because it moves too fast on the 1 minute. So a lot of people always come into the room. They're like, why is your risk reward so far off? The thing is, we're not planning on losing this trade. We're planning on getting in and out really quick. It's just there as a marker so that we can follow it and see where it goes from there. But we don't necessarily put a TP stop loss there. If it goes too far off, like for example, if it goes off like halfway right here, we might just close it out with a loss because these scalps on the 1 minute just move too fast. You don't want to put a stop loss there and then it ends up being too volatile where it ends up spiking really quick for one candle, and then it comes right back down, which happens a lot. And the price difference between FTMO and TradingView are quite different. So if you don't put the right numbers down, odds of you losing that trade prematurely is highly likely. So let's see. All right, still looking for this here. Here, let's see. JP Noble is asking, Shawn, why are you looking for a possible sell? Is it because of the 10-minute bias or the 1 minute below pivot? Well, our bias is going to be based off the higher time frame. So bias is going to be right here for a sell because obviously from 6:30 to 10, price is going down, right? So our bias is a sell. We're looking for a sell here off the 1 minute because we're using the pivot strategy. So it's been the same strategy we've been applying for like the past couple of weeks now, but we are applying the pivot strategy here. So answer to both of your questions, or to your question in two ways, is yes, we're looking for a sell because the bias here is a sell, and we're looking for a sell here on the 1 minute because we're applying the pivot strategy on the 1 minute, and the requirement requires that the signal is below the pivot. If it's above, then we'll take a buy. If it's below, we're taking a sell. Right here, it's going to be below, so that's why we're looking for a sell here. So your answer to your question is yeah, both. Bias is for a sell, and for the 1 minute, it's also below the pivots. Applying the pivot strategy for the 3 minute, but on the 1 minute time frame. So yeah, it's both. And that's what you have to use. Like when you're taking scalps, you have to use multiple confluences. You can't just look at one thing, because if you look at one thing, technically you can look at one thing, but your accuracy is probably not going to be like as high as it would be if you use two different confluences. I usually like to add maybe 2 or 3 confluences to determine, whether it's a good trade or not. But sometimes that doesn't usually play out, especially on today. Josh just messaged, say, wow, totally hit 3-minute TP from earlier. Yeah, Josh, I mean, US 30 is just moving. It's moving kind of weird today. It's not really moving really directional. I mean, it's starting to move directional here, but it hasn't been moving directional this entire day. So we'll see. I'm looking for some scalps off this right here, off the 1 minute. So we got about 16 seconds left on this candle. But just a reminder, guys, if you guys are deciding to take this trade, you guys got to be really quick with it. Like when I'm in the trade, you guys got to be in it right away. So we got about 4 seconds left on this candle. I'm waiting to see if this closes with a signal. No signal there. All right, so we're waiting for the next one. All right, we got about 50 seconds left on this candle right here. If it closes, I'll take it for a small little drop. All right. All right, we got 20 seconds left on this candle. Let's see if it ends up closing. If it closes with the sell signal here, I'm going to enter a sell. So just keep in mind, if you guys are new here and you guys don't know what we're doing, if this closes with the sell signal, I'm going to enter a sell and I'm going to write it down, X amount of pips to catch this. Sorry, guys, I got to answer this call real quick. All right, guys, I'm still waiting for this here to close. It hasn't closed yet for that sell signal, so there's no entry that's available yet. All right. Man, this is probably the worst US 30 day in a while, guys. Like there hasn't been like any entries this whole time. We took that breakout entry, but if we decided not to take that breakout entry, there would have been no entries for like a good 2 hours because we started trading at 6:30. Usually there's at least like one scalp we could take here. I mean, there's a couple scalps that were available here. Like if you took this one over here, this would have been a full TP, but then this one over here would have been a loss, right? So that's why we're not really trying to take any risky trades right now. We're waiting for the good ones to appear. It's just this US 30 days has been really, really slow compared to what we're used to, right? If you guys followed us last week, we had like at least like 5 trades every day, like 4 or 5 trades. Monday, we had 5 trades, all full TP, or 4 trades actually. Tuesday, 3 trades, full TP. Wednesday, 6 trades, full TP, like nearly 10 trades on Thursday, all full TP as well. But yeah, this week kind of just slowed down a bit. Usually that happens if the week was like really busy the previous week, then the following week is usually a little slow. But we'll see. I mean, we'll make the best of it. We're gonna have to salvage what we can for this week. It is the last week of April, so usually the last week is kind of slow anyways. Next week will probably be busy because it's going to be NFP. Let me check the calendar. Yeah, because for one, there's no news events today, so that's why market's kind of slow. Next week is going to be NFP. Yeah, so usually the week before NFP is kind of slow. FOMC is going to be on Wednesday though, so market might pick up on Wednesday. It looks like it's going to be slow, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. But on Wednesday we have FOMC, the FOMC statement, the press conference, the federal funds rate. So it's going to pick up on Wednesday. But other than that, I don't really see the market really picking up all too much. Here we are with US 30, still no signal here for the daily that we've been waiting for like the past 2 hours now. See this over here. Yeah, today's it's a lot slower, Steven. A lot slower than what we're used to. Because let's see, so the market opened right here at 6:30. Yeah, actually it hasn't even really moved that much. As you guys can see right here, it only pushed up about 300 pips from market open. And then down here, it only pushed down about 600 pips. Like that's even the max right now. Realistically, only about 500 pips. Not really much at all. Normally market moves a lot faster. So like looking here on Friday, you can see market open down here. It moved like 3,000 pips within the first 2 hours. Even previously over here on Thursday. On Thursday, market opened right here, and it actually moved up like over 1,000 pips. So today is a really slow day. So to just keep that in mind. Not every day is going to be very volatile. Some days are going to be a lot slower than others, but we're still trying to make the best of these, whatever opportunities we can get here. All right, let's see. Maybe possible scalp here off US 30 right now. Let me see if we get this close. We got about 10 seconds left on this candle right here. All right. All right, so I'm in this trade right now, guys. I'm in this right here for this small scalp. If you guys want to enter it, it is going to be a little risky if you guys want to. Or actually, I didn't even get into it yet. I tried to. MT4 kind of froze up. I put a sell stop right there. Just type this up real quick. Sell stop at, where's the price difference at? I gotta set a sell stop right here. I might just enter a little late as it comes back down for a little discount. Let's see, price difference from here is 34086 minus 34070. It's off by like 15 pips. So entry point is 34079 minus 15. It's gonna be entry for me. So I'll put like a sell stop right there, and I'll enter it as it comes back down. I don't want to enter too early. So if you guys want to enter this, I'm going to put a sell stop right here at this price point. If you're on FTMO, price difference is going to be off by like 15 pips right here. So this is going to be the entry point. I'm going to set a sell stop there so I can catch it, or I might just enter right now actually as it comes down manually. I'm just going to watch it. Then I'll probably enter it as it comes down. It's just moving too fast for me to really put this in. All right, let's see. All right, just watching this right now as we go. Yeah, I got the sell stop set right here. So if I need to if it comes down, it'll trigger my order, and then I'll just write it down to the TP down here. It's just too risky. Like usually I'll enter up here for a discount, but right now it's just the market's just not. It's just I don't feel comfortable with me entering like these risky trades right now with it bouncing back and forth. So I'd rather enter at the actual price. I'm not going to try to get in, get greedy and try to get in for a better pricing. So I'll just move this over slightly so that we can fill it as it comes down. Yeah, it is risky, Steven. So I don't think you should probably enter these trades. I'm just going to be holding on to it, and I'll be, I have a sell stop right here. So if it does come down, it'll fill my order. Let's see. Yeah, if this trade over here ends up not playing out, then we're probably just going to sit out US 30 for the day, guys, because it's just not really, I don't think it's worth the risk for us to really try to hop into trades here and there when price isn't really moving directional, right? Because we're looking for a sell here, but price isn't really moving that direction smoothly. It's kind of going back and forth, as we watch it. So we'll see where it goes from here. And if it swings up even higher, I'm just going to close out my sell stop, and I'm not even going to bother taking it. Let's see. I'm kind of glad MT4 asked for that one-click. It's called one-click trading. Because if you guys don't have that enabled, it doesn't let you enter the trade right away. You have to enable it first before it lets you enter it. So I actually didn't get in when I wanted to. So let's see, we got this bouncing around right here. We got 5 seconds left on this candle, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Yeah, I'm probably gonna cancel my sell stop right here. I'm not gonna enter it. Market's just not moving directional, guys. So looking at this here, you can see that it's still ranging, right? We thought it was gonna come down from this point. It didn't break below that low. And then now it's just back to ranging. So it's not really worth the risk right now. So I would just hold off on US 30 for today, guys. I would just chill. We did make some profit yesterday. So I'm currently still in profit from the profits that we made on Sunday. And then we took, we took a small little loss this morning off that breakout entry. But other than that, I think we're fine for the most part. I don't really see much for us to really be worried about over here. So let me just check this real quick. Yeah, for days like this, when the price isn't really moving smoothly, it's better. You're better off just holding off and waiting for the market to smoothen out. Because right here, it's just not really worth the risk, right? Like looking at this over here, it's just going sideways, and it hasn't even broken below this area. So what I think, guys, I think today is just more of a yeah, no, Steven. Or no, sorry, I just saw your messages before that. So I'm getting mixed up. So Steven said, I'm not in this one, it's risky. So will you take this one? Steven, I'm getting confused with what you're asking. Are you asking about the same one? Because I said it was risky and I was going to enter it, but I had the sell stop right there for this trade right here. So I had the sell stop set up. I didn't enter the trade yet, but it never came back down to fill it. Let's see. Oh boy, said Shawn, S&P just under all-time high. Looks like it wants to go above it. That's what I was thinking too. But looking at this here, I mean, this was still dropping down from this point. You know, if you guys have been watching the session from earlier, from when we started, we would have been waiting for it to close below here this whole time. So for the past 2 hours now, from here up until here, yeah, for about 2 hours now, we're waiting for it to close below here. It still hasn't closed. So it hasn't given that confirmation that price is going to be bearish from here. It's just, it's just ranging back and forth within this area up until like, because it's already 8 o'clock, guys. So like once it hits 9, it's going to go into some deeper consolidation. So like right here, it's going to go into some deeper consolidation around 9. And you really don't want to be trading around this area over here, because once it reaches 10, it's going to either go up or it's going to go down. And the last thing you want to do is be on the wrong side of the market. So let's see. Yeah. Oh boy, said Shawn, S&P is just under all-time high. Looks like it wants to go above it. I'll pull up the S&P over here. So let's see. We got SP 500 over here. So yeah, guys, today we just had one small loss during the breakout entry. We had no other trades for today, but yesterday we had 2 wins off the scalps from yesterday. So looking at the S&P, let's see. Oh boy is mentioning, is this the all-time high right here? Let me just close this. Is that the all-time high? Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to push above it. So, I mean, we could even take a look at this as well. So we'll look at from 630. I think S&P might have been moving smoother. You know, this is weird because looking at this here, well, I mean, they're both consolidating actually. It's just kind of weird because the S&P is consolidating upwards or ranging upwards. So if I draw this from right here, and then I draw this from down here as well, or we can go from here. So looking at this here, or we can even move it down a little lower. So looking at this here, S&P was consolidating sideways as well, or it was ranging sideways, but it was going towards a bullish move, right? If you look at US 30, usually these mirror each other. So that's what's kind of weird about this. S&P's ranging upwards, while US 30 is ranging downwards, which is kind of weird to see that happen. Unless the US 30 indexes are really weighing it down. So let me just refresh this real quick. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty middle. US 30 looks pretty middle right here. Looking at, that's weird. I don't know why the S&P is not on here. Usually it's on here with the NASDAQ. But looking at CNBC over here, I think everything's, that's so weird. So like looking at the DJ, everything here is bullish. But if you look at the chart here, the US 30 is actually bearish for the day. So I think today's probably a better day for you guys to just sit out US 30. We had one loss today, so that's fine. You know, overall this year has been great. Last week was amazing. So like last week we had 6,000 pips in profit, I think. Yeah, so last week we had all wins, no losses. We had 6,000 pips in profit. Today we just had one loss, so you just subtract 500 off that. You should be overall in profit pretty heavy this week if you were catching all the trades. Let's see, Cheryl over here made some profit though. So Cheryl said, okay, I'm done for the day. Everybody have a great day. So Cheryl, she was trading, she was actually scalping US 30 on the short time frames too, it looks like. So she was actually scalping it all throughout the day. She made 1,200 on that one account. And then she made 2,020 on her other account over here. So as you guys can see, if you guys know the strategies, you guys can apply it yourself. It's just for me here, I just trade very carefully. I don't like losing trades. So we already had one loss from today for that breakout entry that we were testing. Thankfully, we took a smaller lot size on that. So I only took like about a little over 1,000 loss off that, I believe. So I'm in profit still for today because last night, so I closed out last night's trading. If you guys were in the trading session last night, I locked in about 1,987. Today I lost a little over 1,000. So I'm still slightly in the positive for the week. And that's, you know, that's key to using proper risk when you guys are taking these trades. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's really much for us to look at here, guys. I don't think you guys should really risk trading US 30 right now because it just keeps going back and forth. You know, looking at this right here, it's just bouncing back and forth, right? There's really no direction that's being set. So the last thing you want to do is enter a sell, it reverses on you, enter a buy, it reverses on you, right? It goes both ways. But yeah, overall, this looked like it would have been a good sell. So like right here at 758, this was down here on the 3-minute, 758. It was also down below on the 10-minute. It was also below here. So as you guys can see, you know, it's just how the market's moving today. You just have to take it day by day. And when the market's not giving you what you're looking for, it's better to just sit out the market than to force trades and maybe get lucky here and there, but not really actually understand, you know, what you're doing and understand that what you're doing is correct. So other than that, guys, I think that's it for this session. Let me just go and answer some other questions here to see what we are looking for. Let's see. So SZ's asking, hey, Shawn, what about gold? Any breakdown? So we did analyze gold a little while ago. So let me just go over here real quick. Where's my mouse at? Heck, my mouse just died. Oh, there we go. All right. So here's my mouse right here. So we did analyze gold a little while ago, SC. I'll just pull it back for you right here. So what I was looking for here is I was looking for it to be bullish. I was looking for a possible retest of the structure right here. I was coming up with this by looking at the dollar index. So looking at the dollar index right here, the dollar index is kind of moving sideways right here. So looking at this over here, it hasn't really chosen a direction yet, right? So price either goes up or it goes down from this point. So looking at this over here, if this goes down, then we can expect gold to go up, right? Because if I'm sure you're familiar with it, SZ, because you've been here for a while. You'll know that if price is going up, that means that gold is stronger than the dollar, right? So if the dollar index is weak right here, then we could expect gold to go up. However, looking at the dollar index right here, it's trying to push up. So the thing is, if the dollar index pushes up from this point, then we could expect gold to drop slightly to here. That's why I have this marked up right here, because if the dollar is strong, like say the US dollar right here, if it's stronger than the gold standard over here, like if the dollar index pushes up, then we could expect this to push up as well. Because when price is going up, I did that opposite. When price is going up, that means that gold is stronger than the dollar. But when price is going down, that means that the dollar is stronger than gold. So I would match it with the dollar index right here. I would keep looking at the dollar index to see how it's moving. If this ends up pushing up higher and higher, then you could expect it to drop right here. And that's kind of what I see happening here. It's just consolidating sideways until then. But I think it'll probably come down slightly to test this area, and then it'll bounce back up. You'll probably see this push up slightly, maybe up to this area right here. So it'll probably push up, or not, maybe not even to that area, maybe down to this area right here. Or maybe not even to that area. Maybe it's this area right here, right? Who knows? It'll probably push up to somewhere around here. And then I think eventually it'll just drop. You got to keep in mind that on Wednesday, the FOMC is speaking. So we got the FOMC statement on Wednesday. So we probably won't see too much movement for gold until Wednesday because there's no US news here. I mean, there's US news here on Tuesday. It's a CV consumer confidence, but I don't think it's going to affect it too much. The main thing that's really going to affect the market is going to be the FOMC statement because they're going to be talking about the US economy. So they have this once a month. They'll be basically going over the game plan for the economy, you know, our recovery from COVID. So this is what's really going to push price. I think on Wednesday, you'll see gold you'll see the dollar index either push up or push down. And then from there, gold is going to react to that push and you'll see gold either push up or push down from that point. Personally, I think it's probably going to push down slightly even more. It might not even push down at this point. It might even push down even further to maybe down here because with COVID kind of going away, you know, slightly, the U.S. economy is getting better and better as we start to reopen things, right? So with that said, I think this will probably drop a little bit, but I think eventually it's going to swing back up because the U.S. economy is it's still not good, and it's not going to be good for the next, I guess, year, a couple years or so until everything goes back to normal. So just keep that in mind, SZ. But yeah, definitely look at the dollar index if you're looking for short-term moves. But I would probably be careful once it reaches Wednesday because Wednesday is going to be the big move here for the FOMC statement at 11. But other than that, let me see if there's any other questions from you guys before I sign off for the day. You know, I think today's probably a better day to just hold off on these because right now it's just like I mentioned, we've been waiting since 6 o'clock for price to either break below or above this area right here, right? It hasn't broken below or above it. So that's why we just don't really have a direction. It is directional moving down, but like I just showed you over here on the 1 minute, it just didn't even play out, right? It played out over here. So if we go back over here, this played out, right? So these are kind of like traps, basically. They're trapping you to think that price is going back to normal. So right here, you're like, all right, cool. Price is actually working. It went straight to TP. We follow through on the next one over here. This right here was like a straight up trap off this one over here. Or this, I wasn't even the one. Yeah, this one right here. See, this was a straight up trap because you would expect this one to work since this one over here worked, right? You're like, okay, price is actually moving directional now, but it didn't really move directional. It was a trap. It just came down and then shot all the way up. So I wouldn't mess with the market right now. I would probably just hold off. I mean, if you guys want to take risks, you guys can. Like Cheryl over here, she took risks and she actually made some pretty good profit off it. But she trades a little differently. She's getting in and out really quickly. She's not really, you can see she's taking bigger lot sizes because she's getting in really quick. She's only going in for like a few little pips here and there. If you guys know what you're doing, you guys can do that. But me personally, I don't really like taking risks like that. I like trading where I don't have to risk, where I don't have to feel nervous about my trade. But obviously today's one of those days where it's just price isn't moving directional. So I think this is probably the best day for you guys to just sit out. We'll be back tomorrow, so don't worry about it. We'll probably be back maybe this evening. If I decide to scalp this evening, I'll probably go live for you guys. I'm probably not going to though, but tomorrow morning will probably be a lot better. So just keep that in mind, preserve your capital. Don't take any unnecessary risk. And then we'll hop back into this tomorrow. Like, you know, if you look at the chat here, if you see like what Jeff mentioned, what Patricia mentioned today, there's a lot of earnings this week from the big companies, and those big companies are in the US 30 index. So just keep that in mind. There's just going to be a lot of unusual movements in the market this week as those earnings are being released. I'll probably have to talk to someone in the group who knows when those dates are, so that we know what to look out for as we continue. But yeah, other than that, guys, thanks for showing up. And then I'll be back here tomorrow, if not later tonight. I think Josh might try to do a mentoring session tonight with you guys. So if you guys are free tonight, the mentoring session link will be sent out to the group, and Josh will probably be hosting it. But other than that, I will be back here tomorrow morning for some more scalps. Hopefully you guys didn't take any big positions today. Make sure you're using proper risk, because if you did, then you should be fine. And look at this right here. See how price is moving for US 30? Look, if I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna see if this actually plays out. It didn't even close out. Never mind. If that signal right there closed, I wanted to see if it was going to close out and actually hit the 10 pips, because we do have that bearish bias right here, but the market is just moving back and forth. It's not really moving how we would like it to. But yeah, as you can see right there, it's just going back and forth, right? It's a lot of whipsaw action. Price comes down, then it comes up, then it comes down. And then from there, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to come right back up, right? But yeah, other than that, I think that's it for this session, guys. I'll catch you guys in the chat if you guys have any other questions to ask. But other than that, I think we should be chilling for today. So